Choosing where to settle in Finland isn't just about statistics, it's about finding a place that actually fits your life. And after guiding hundreds to the relocation to Finland, I've noticed that this decision can make or break your move to Finland. So in this video I'm going to show you the best cities in Finland to relocate to, the cost of living, job opportunities and pros and cons of each city, and help you to decide which city to move to. And let's start with the first city that is the most popular but not necessarily the best. So imagine starting your morning with a tram ride along the sea, grabbing a cinnamon bun at the local cafe and being in your office in 15 minutes, then hopping for a ferry island tour on the weekend. This is none other than Helsinki, the capital and heartbeat of Finland. But what makes Helsinki so popular? With about 675,000 people in the city and over 1.5 million in the metropolitan area, it's where the newcomers land first, and it's easy to see why. It has the widest range of job opportunities, the most international schools, and more intentional vibe than anywhere else in the country. You'll find a blend of Nordic efficiency and urban pulse here. Trams gliding through the quiet neighborhoods, sea views just a few minutes from your office, and surprisingly calmness for a city this size. I used to live in Helsinki in the Sörnäinen and Kallion areas, which was great when I was a single. But how much do you actually need to live in Helsinki? It's the most expensive city in the country, so let's set a clear baseline. So the numbers I'm going to show you come from the Finland's reference budget for reasonable minimum life, created by the University of Helsinki. So these numbers are based on real Finnish prices and household data, reflect a normal, modest lifestyle, including rent, food, transport, clothing, insurance, and hobbies, but they do not include holidays, and car ownership only included in the two-parent families with kids. And these do not include student housing. I've also included gross salary data from 2025 Finnish Taxpayers Association showing the salary needed to achieve a specific net monthly pay to provide a clearer financial understanding. Let's have a look. So we have 4 different household types. Single adult below 45 years old, couple, 2 adults under 45 years old, family with 2 small kids, 4 and 7, and family with 2 teenagers, 13 and 16. For a single household, the minimum budget is around 1,756 euros, and that equals to around 2,100 euros gross salary per month for it to work. So for example, if you're a single professional earning 2,100 euros gross per month, you can expect to cover your basic needs and live comfortably, though you'll need to budget carefully for extras. For a couple, the combined household budget jumps to around 2,862 euros. If one parent works only, that's roughly 4,200 euros in gross salary, but if both work, it breaks around to just 2,100 euros each. For couples, having 2 incomes can make a huge difference, not just your budget, but your overall comfort and lifestyle options. For a family with 2 small kids, ages 4 and 7, you need around 3,860 euros per month in net. That equals a gross salary of around 5,800 euros if only one parent is covering everything, or about 2,900 euros each if both work. And for family with 2 teenagers, ages 13 and 16, the budget rises to around 4,893 euros net. That translates to around 8,000 euros gross if one parent is working, or about 4,000 euros each if both are earning. Bottom line is Helsinki is expensive, but with good planning, especially if 2 incomes, you can make it work without major compromises. But are these numbers in your ballpark? And remember, these numbers are not set in stone. You can influence your budget with neighborhood and lifestyle choices. But if you can afford these budgets I just showed, you'll be fine. But of course, to afford life here, you need a job. So what does the Helsinki job market look like? Currently, the whole job market in Finland is tough. Even locals are struggling. But people do still get hired every day, and Helsinki is still the powerhouse for opportunities in Finland, especially for English speakers. And there are 3 reasons for this. 1, at any given time you can find thousands of English language job postings in Helsinki metropolitan area on LinkedIn. And for example, April, one of my previous relocation clients landed an assistant professor role in a university in the Helsinki area. And by the way, if you're moving to Finland and want to do it stress-free, click the link in the description. Secondly, most multinational company headquarters are here. Think Supercell, Rovio, Volt and Nokia in tech, and Kone, Fortum and Neste in engineering and energy. The scale and diversity of jobs is simply larger than anywhere else in Finland. And thirdly, many companies are also based in Espoo and Vantaa, both accessible from Helsinki by public transport. So typical roles you'll see in Helsinki: IT and software, project and product management, finance and consulting, marketing and communications, education and research, and customer support and services. A reality check is that competition is fierce, and not speaking Finnish can limit your options, especially in customer facing or public sector jobs. But for international friendly roles, Helsinki offers the widest pool and best chances to find your fit. But is Helsinki really the city for you? Let's look at the pros and cons. Pros: best job opportunities in Finland. As mentioned, the biggest and most opportunities are located in the Helsinki area. If you want a good job, Helsinki is still the top choice. Excellent public transport. Trams, buses, metro, trains, even ferries. You can easily live here without owning a car. international friendly. Most services available in English, largest expat population, international schools, global food, etc. Of all Finnish cities, this is the one where you can survive the longest without knowing Finnish. Access to nature. Despite being a capital city, parks, seaside promenades, forests, and islands are all around the city. City life with kayaking 10 minutes away, that's very Helsinki. Active cultural life. Museums, concerts, festivals, restaurants, bars, more than any other Finnish city. There's always something going on, especially in the summer. Very safe capital. As Finland in general, Helsinki is a very safe country with low crime, pickpockets, muggers, and scammers. But what about cons? High cost of living. Most expensive city in Finland for housing, eating out, parking, etc. Small apartments for high prices. Housing is tight. Many expats are surprised by the size to cost ratio. You'll get less space for your money than anywhere else in Finland. Traffic and parking hassles. Driving in the city center is stressful and parking is expensive and limited. If you own a car, prepare for frustration. For example, when my family and I head to Helsinki, we just always use the public transport, never the car. Most troublemakers in the country. So you'll see more drunks, drugsters, beggars than anywhere else in Finland. However, compared to an international standard, the problem caused by these people are most likely very small, like if you compare to US, for example. So the bottom line, if you want the widest job market, international schools, and a vibrant city life, Helsinki is hard to beat. Just be ready for higher costs and busier pace. However, this next area in the capital area can give you Helsinki access with lower costs. And by the way, if you're moving to Finland and want to do it stress-free, click the link in the description. Imagine finishing work in the city and within 20 minutes you're in a quiet neighborhood surrounded by forests and lakes. On Saturday morning you could be shopping in one of the biggest malls in the country, and by the afternoon hiking in a national park or swimming in the Baltic Sea. Few places in Finland give you this kind of contrast between modern city life and pure nature, and yet it's still just a metro ride from the capital. This city is Espoo. Espoo offers a unique blend: forests and coastlines, shopping centers and tech hubs, all rolled into one. Many newcomers are drawn here for the lifestyle and calm neighborhoods, and it's especially popular among families and tech professionals. And some describe it as the best of both worlds, close to Helsinki but quieter and greener and cheaper. You can live in a modern apartment next to a national park, hop on a metro and be in downtown Helsinki in just 20 minutes. But how much does it cost living in Espoo? Let's look at the numbers. For the single household, the minimum budget is around 1,749 euros net. If you're a single professional, you just need around 2,100 euros gross per month to meet that level. For a couple, the budget is around 2,800 euros net. If one partner works only, that's roughly 3,700 euros gross, and if both work, it breaks down to around 1,840 euros each. Again, having two income makes a huge difference in comfort and options. For a family with two small kids, 4 and 7, the household budget jumps to around 3,800 euros net. That equals to around 5,900 euros if one parent covers everything, or around a little bit less than 3,000 euros each if both work. And for the teenager family, the budget rises to around 4,800 euros net, and that translates to around 8,000 euros gross if one parent works, or 4,000 euros each if both work. What does it mean in practice? Well, living in Espoo is a little bit more affordable than Helsinki, especially because the rents are cheaper and often you can get more space for your money. For example, a family with 2 kids can often rent a larger apartment or even smaller house here for less than they paid for a cramped flat in Helsinki. And this is also the reason why my family lives in Espoo. But what about jobs in Espoo? Well, Espoo is a technology and research hub, and many companies operate in English, which is a big plus for international talent. And here are some major employers that often hire without Finnish: Nokia, Kone, Fortum, Aalto University, VTT, Tietoevry, Rovio, plus many IT consulting firms and startups around Otaniemi and Keilaniemi. For example, one of my relocation clients, Rafael, got a job at a Finnish engineering firm located close to Otaniemi. And Espoo's proximity to Helsinki also means that you can easily commute to opportunities in the capital, especially with metro and train lines. And in my previous job, my commute from Espoo to Helsinki office was just around 25 minutes door to door. So is Espoo the right fit for your career lifestyle? Let's weigh the pros and cons. Pros: green and peaceful. Large areas of nature, forests, coastline, ideal for outdoor lovers. Close to Helsinki. Excellent public transport and highways, quick access to the capital. Trains and metros make commuting into Helsinki smooth. Tech and innovation hub. Along with big corporations, we have areas like Otaniemi, Finland's Silicon Valley, great for engineers, IT and startup folks. Family friendly. Safe neighborhoods, good schools and daycares, international options and services. For example, Tapiola and Leppävaara are great for families. Cons: feel suburban Aleksi city center. So Espoo doesn't have a real downtown area like Helsinki, it just has like multiple neighborhoods dumped together. and I just hit my mic here. Limited nightlife and cultural events. So quiet in the evenings, you'll likely head to Helsinki for big events and entertainment, and if you want vibrant nightlife, Espoo isn't really the place. Less identity and personality. So compared to other cities, Espoo is more functional than charismatic. Car dependency in some parts. So not all neighborhoods are well served by transit, and without a car, certain neighborhoods can feel a bit isolated, so check transit options before you choose where to live. So bottom line, want city convenience without city chaos, Espoo might be your perfect fit. I live here myself, and for families or anyone who wants space, nature, and easy city access, Espoo is hard to beat. And if you land a job in Helsinki, check also Espoo options for more affordable housing and calmer pace. But what if this third remaining city of the capital area is your future home? So imagine a place with forests and lakes mixed into suburban neighborhoods, larger shopping centers, and train lines that whisk you into downtown in Helsinki just 20 minutes. Not as polished as Espoo, and it doesn't have the same cultural energy as Helsinki, but it offers something many people are looking for: practicality. This is Vantaa, Finland's fourth largest city with over 200,000 residents, maintains a suburban feel despite its size. It boasts excellent connectivity through trains, buses, major roads, making commutes across the capital region convenient. Vantaa has a mixed reputation among Finns. While some joke about its rough edges, others highly value its convenience, greener spaces, and family-friendly atmosphere. What about the costs in Vantaa area? Let's run the numbers. To save your time, according to budget research, the costs and budgets are the same as in Espoo, but Vantaa generally has slightly lower rents than central Helsinki. For example, if you are a young couple both working in Helsinki, you can live in Vantaa earning around 1,850 euros gross per month and still have a comfortable lifestyle with more space than Helsinki. But can you actually find work in Vantaa? So Vantaa's job market is shaped by its location. It's a hub for logistics and transport thanks to airport and major rail connections. Big employers include Finnair, Posti, and logistics hubs for international companies. There are also opportunities in retail and healthcare. And of course, all the previous options shown for Helsinki and Espoo are on the table. So if you work in Helsinki or Espoo, just be ready for daily commute. Trains and buses are reliable, but check your route before choosing a neighborhood. So how does Vantaa stack overall? Let's look at the pros. More affordable housing. Rents are often cheaper and apartments are easier to find than in Espoo or Helsinki. Strong transport links. Excellent train and bus connections tie Vantaa directly into the capital area. Green and family friendly. Lots of parks, playgrounds, and calm neighborhoods suited for families. Convenient shopping. Major malls like Jumbo and Myyrmanni cover most of the daily needs. What about the cons then? So fewer international jobs. The market is smaller and less international compared to Helsinki and Espoo. Less cultural buzz. Fewer events, nightlife spots, and cultural venues than the capital. Industrial vibe in places. So some districts look and feel more functional than polished. Mixed reputation among Finns. So Vantaa doesn't always have the prestige of its neighbors. But the bottom line is that if you want affordable housing, strong transport links, and don't mind commuting for certain jobs, Vantaa offers a practical and family-friendly alternative in the capital region. And if you're after more buzz or prestige, you might want to keep looking. I personally prefer Espoo, but Vantaa is still a decent option. But what if your true Finnish home lies beyond the capital area where the real Finland is? So imagine strolling along a river lined with cafes, students cycling past, and a medieval castle standing guard at the edge of town. The pace is slower, the vibe is more relaxed, and the sea is always close by. It feels historic but also very livable. This is Turku, Finland's oldest city and the former capital. But what makes Turku an appealing place to move to? With a population of around 200,000, it's Finland's sixth largest city. It's a student hub, home to 2 universities and a significant international student community. Often referred to as Finland's summer city, Turku is lively and vibrant by the Aurajoki River in the summer, while offering a quieter and more laid-back atmosphere in winter. So how much does it cost to live here compared to the capital area? Let's see the numbers. For a single adult under 45, the minimum budget is around 1,566 euros net. That is around 2,100 euros gross. For a couple, the budget is around 2,500 euros. If only one partner works, that's roughly 3,400 euros gross salary, but if both work, it comes around to about 1,700 euros each. For a family with 2 small kids, 4 and 7, the household budget is around 3,500 euros net. That equals a gross salary of around 4,750 euros. One parent is covering everything, or about 2,380 euros each if both work. And for the family with teenagers, the budget rises to around 4,500 euros around. That translates to roughly 6,000 euros gross if one parent works, or 3,000 euros each if both are earning. What does this mean in practice? Living in Turku is significantly cheaper than in the capital area, especially when it comes to housing. For example, a family with 2 kids might pay several €100 less for a spacious flat in Turku compared to a much smaller place in Helsinki. You often get more space for the same price. But what about jobs in Turku? Turku has a smaller job market compared to Helsinki or Tampere, and English-speaking roles are limited. However, if you work in the right industries, you can find opportunities, especially in international companies or specialized fields. Here are some examples with employers with a presence in Turku. Wärtsilä, global leader in marine and energy tech with R&D in Turku. Meyer Turku, one of Europe's top cruise shipbuilders. Engineering and project roles may be open to non-Finnish speakers. Faron Pharmaceuticals, a clinical stage biotech company hiring in English occasionally. Orion Pharmaceutical, a company with production facilities in the region. Port of Turku, logistics and supply chain companies operate here, but Finnish is often needed. So note that most jobs in Turku still require Finnish, but if you work in tech, engineering or life sciences, there are some niche opportunities. What about the pros and cons in Turku? So Finland's oldest city with modern poles. Turku was once the capital of Finland and still carries that historical weight, with castles, cobblestone streets and rich cultural calendar. Aurajoki River, summer vibes. So the riverside comes alive in the summer with cafes, events and sunsets that make you forget you're in the Nordics. Finns say, sexiest people live in Turku. Is it the dialect, the fashion? No one knows, but the joke lives on. And to be honest, my wife is from Turku, so has to have some truth behind it. More affordable than Helsinki. Rents and general living expenses are lower than in the capital region, especially in outer regions. Gateway to the archipelago. Just a short drive or ferry away, you'll find one of the most stunning island networks in the world, perfect for weekend escapes. What about the cons? Limited job market for internationals. So English-speaking roles are fewer here compared to Helsinki, and large global employers are more limited. Surprisingly Swedish. You hear both Finnish and Swedish around the town, great for multilinguals, but it might surprise some newcomers. No metro, no trains, just buses. Public transport works, but it's less comprehensive than in the capital region. Expect longer communities in some neighborhoods. Too small for some. If you're coming from a major city, Turku might feel a bit slow or limited in lifestyle options outside the summer months, but again, this could be a pro for some. So bottom line, if you want more space, lower rents and a comfortable lifestyle with less financial pressure, Turku is a fantastic alternative to the capital region. But what if your Finnish home is the Manchester of Finland? Imagine waking up in a city surrounded by lakes, grabbing your morning coffee at the old market hall and walking past red brick factory building that's been turned into offices, restaurants or a startup hub. This is Tampere, often called the Manchester of Finland for its industrial history, but today better known as one of the country's most vibrant tech and student cities. I used to live in Tampere for 6 years and did my bachelor and masters there, and got to say I really like it there. But what makes Tampere a great place to live? With a population of over 250,000, it ranks as the Finland's third largest city. Tampere is a truly unique city nestled between the two beautiful lakes of Näsijärvi and Pyhäjärvi, which are connected by the scenic Tammerkoski Rapids flowing right through the city center. It's also a haven for Moomin fans, boasting the world's only Moomin museum dedicated to Finland's beloved cartoon family. And for those who appreciate a good sweat, Tampere is the undisputed sauna capital with over 50 public saunas to choose from. So if you're wondering whether Tampere fits your lifestyle and budget, here's how the numbers stack up for different household types. Again, to save your time, the budgets are, according to the research, the same as in Turku. The key difference compared to capital area is the housing. Rents are lower and apartments are easier to find, which makes Tampere significantly more affordable for families and singles alike. But can you find a job in Tampere? Tampere has transformed from a regional hub into a growing innovation center with booming sectors like health tech, smart manufacturing and sustainability. Major employers include Tampere University, global companies like Valmet and Sandvik, fast-growing startups like Happy or Not or Wirepass, and Technic Hall, one of my relocation clients. She moved to Finland from the US and landed a job at a Finnish bioinformatics company and found it easy to settle in thanks to Tampere's international vibe. So if you got skills in tech, research or innovation, Tampere's job market has a place for you. But is Tampere really worth it? Let's look at the pros and cons. Lower cost of living, cheaper housing and everyday expenses than the capital area. Relaxed and walkable. Tampere is a compact city where you can get around easily. Strong public transport. Modern tram lines and reliable buses connect the whole city. International vibe. Universities bring the students and professionals from around the world. Nature on your doorstep. It's surrounded by lakes and forests for easy escapes. Student friendly. Tampere has an active student life, events and affordable services. Creative and and tech jobs, growing opportunities in startups, media and innovation. Great location, just a short train ride to Helsinki and other major cities. But what about cons? Fewer international jobs. It's still smaller than Helsinki's job market. Feels small for city lovers. If you want a bustling nightlife and big city intensity, Tampere may be not the one for you. So does Tampere sound like your city? If you want a balanced lifestyle with nature, culture and good job prospects without the chaos of the capital, Tampere could be a perfect fit. And Tampere is one of my personal favorites, so if you get a job or study admission from Tampere, I'm sure you will like it there. But what if your true home lies in the wild card located far out in the north? So imagine a city where high-tech companies sit next to traditional wooden houses and you can ride your bike along the waterfront under the midnight sun. This is Oulu, often called the Silicon Valley of the North, thanks to its strong tech industry, but also known for its laid-back lifestyle, northern culture and closeness to nature. With a population of over 210,000 residents, Oulu is Finland's fifth largest city. Oulu, a city with rich history, once a global leader in Nokia mobile R&D. Beyond its technological past, Oulu is famous for unique events like the Air Guitar World Championships. And what's more, from late autumn to spring, residents and visitors alike can marvel at the northern lights without even leaving the city. What about the cost of living in Oulu? Again, to save your time, the budgets are, according to research, the same as in Turku and Tampere. But keep in mind that Oulu is much more affordable than the capital area, especially when it comes to housing. But will you be unemployed or can you land a job in Oulu? Oulu has been a tech and engineering hub with roots going back to Nokia era. So many companies still operate here in software, hardware, IoT, making it one of Finland's leading tech centers. So if you're in IT, engineering or R&D, you'll find the opportunities, though keep in mind that Finnish language skills are often preferred outside the largest international firms. And one of my early subscribers moved Oulu from the UK 6 years ago for a software engineering position. So notable employers in Oulu include Nokia, Oura, Bittium, iLog, University of Oulu. So while the Oulu job market is smaller, it punches above its weight in high-tech and innovation-driven roles. But what about the pros and cons in Oulu? Affordable housing, much cheaper than the capital region with more spaces for your money. Nature everywhere, sea, forests and fresh air right outside your door. Strong tech presence, great niche opportunities for engineers and IT professionals. Family-friendly, clean, quiet and safe environment to raise kids. University town vibe, youthful energy from a large student population. What about cons? Long, dark winters. Being so far in the north, winters are colder and darker than in the south. Fewer English-speaking jobs. Outside tech, Finnish is often required. Far from the capital, it's about 6 hours by train to Helsinki. Limited entertainment. Fewer big concerts, nightlife options and large events compared to southern cities. So bottom line, Oulu is for you if you want space, affordability and nature, especially if you work in tech or remotely. But you need to be honest with yourself, can you handle the long northern winters? So how do these cities compare against each other? Let's make a breakdown. So let's start with Helsinki. Helsinki is the priciest city in Finland, expect the highest rents and everyday costs. But it has by far the strongest, most international job market with the widest role variety. The vibe I would describe as international, busy, cultural, museums, events, and a true capital city pulse. And it's best for professionals chasing top career opportunities and expats who want a global environment. Espoo, still expensive but typically a touch cheaper than central Helsinki, with more space for the price. Strong tech and HQ presence, and you have full access to the Helsinki's job market just next door. Vibe I would describe as green, suburban, family-oriented, parks, schools and calm neighborhoods. And it's best for families and tech professionals who want proximity to the capital without living downtown. Vantaa, generally more affordable than central Helsinki with better availability in some areas, but with fewer international jobs locally, but you're still plugged into the capital region's jobs via rail and road. Vibe I would describe as practical and accessible, easy commuter city anchored by the airport and transit links. It's best for families and commuters who value convenience and value for money housing. Turku, noticeably cheaper than the capital region, especially on rent. Smaller jobs overall, but with niche opportunities in services, health, maritime and IT. Vibe is historical, coastal, student-driven and slower pace with rich heritage and summer life. Best for students, history lovers, anyone seeking a balanced lifestyle at lower cost. Tampere, more affordable than Helsinki. Housing is easy to find and fits range of budgets. For jobs, strong in tech, healthcare, manufacturing and education, a genuine alternative for capital for careers. Vibe, relaxed, creative, student-friendly, big city feel without big city chaos. Best for young professionals and families who want good balance, good jobs, culture and reasonable costs. Oulu, one of the most affordable big cities. You get more space and lower rents. But for jobs, excellent for engineers and ITs, but fewer English-speaking roles outside tech. Vibe is like techie, northern, nature-focused, sea, forests, and calm, family-friendly pace. Best for remote workers, engineers who value space, affordability, and easy access to nature. And as a pro tip, if you receive a job offer outside the capital area such as Turku or Tampere, I would seize the opportunity to experience the authentic Finland that is beyond the capital area in my opinion. But if you have found your city, your life in Finland will start miserably if you make these mistakes during your relocation. What are those and how to avoid them? Click this to find out.